Hey everyone, of course, welcome to the next edition of Forum Bites. In this episode, we continue to talk about the seed moderator process, because in this episode, we talk about what you do in your first meeting. So you're coming up to your very first meeting as a seed moderator and you're wondering what to do. First, you have to remind you about one of the major hurdles a lot of seed moderators face when they're taking over a forum. That's where they try and do too much, too quickly, too soon. And they end up leaving some of the brand new members behind and therefore affecting the overall forum experience. The first meeting is designed for you to start to get to know each other, as well as for you to talk about process and get confirmation of that, as well as for them to understand what the seed moderator process is, how long you're going to be there, as well as to answer the question what the next 6 to 12 months actually looks like. You begin the meeting with a confidentiality reminder. Obviously, what's said in the room stays in the room. Because it's really important for you to have confidentiality, because that is where you build the trust between all of these brand new people. Some of them may have met each other at training, but you have to assume that no one knows anyone else within the forum. You then move on to the lifelines, which usually take between 5 and 10 minutes each, as well as answering a question at the end, which is what is the major thing you want to get out of this forum experience. This is really important for you to jot down, because this is what you're going to be able to use later on in the later meetings to make sure that everyone is getting out of the forum experience what they need. Who goes first? You do. The reason why you need to go first for your lifeline is because you're there to emulate what it looks like to give the 5%, to be vulnerable in front of other people, and also to reinforce why confidentiality is really important. It's really important that you set the bar for where you want everyone else to be. Because I guarantee you, if you are superficial on your lifeline, everyone else will be. Straight after your lifeline and you've got the answer to your question and jotted it down, you then move on to the Constitution. You move on to what the expectations are, because the Constitution is what you hold everyone accountable for what the meeting structure is going to be like. Now, the easiest way to do it is bring along a draft. Bring along a draft from your previous forum, from the website, from your chapter. Don't bring along a blank piece of paper. It's going to take forever. The process took me around about 30 minutes. Some have taken up to 60 minutes I've seen before, but it just depends on the group. You do need to go through each line and look at the major ones. As you know, punctuality, what happens if someone can't be at forum? When is forum going to be? How often are they going to communicate? And so on. Which is really important, because this draft is what you're going to be finalizing in the next couple of meetings to make your final constitution to hold everyone accountable. I've seen some forums do their constitution at the 6, 7 or even 12-month mark, and I've always seen it fall down before that because the expectations aren't known. Of course, it may take you 6 meetings to get a final one, but it's really important you talk about expectations at the beginning, and a draft one makes it a lot easier for you. After you've gone through the Constitution and you've agreed on some draft amendments, you then move on to the moderator process. In other words, when is the next moderator training? Reminding them all that you need to choose someone to be the moderator after you, as well as a moderator-elect that need to go to the training. It's really important that you have 2 as a backup plan. It'd be even better if you can send them all to moderator training, but I know that diaries are virtually impossible to make up that quickly, but at least 2 will give you a backup plan. You'll also go through the seed moderator process. How long are you going to be there for? Are you a seed moderator for 12 months, 6 months? Are you staying in the forum? What are the expectations that you have of them, as well as the expectations that they should have of you? And you just clear up any questions they may have about what the process is going forward. Believe me, they will have them. They always do. The next thing you move on to is the communication model that you're going to use as a forum. Is it WhatsApp, WeChat, email, SMS, Dropbox, or any other type of communication model you want to use? Because it's really important that they know what they are supposed to use and how often they're supposed to look at it, because you're going to be communicating this way. And if you don't have people being able to answer your questions for you in a timely manner, it just makes your job harder. It doesn't matter what you use, as long as you agree on something and all use it. And of course, obviously the last part, of course, is going through the Roundup. Now, you may have enough time to do roundups in your first meeting. Every meeting I've gone to, I've never had time to do everyone's roundup, because some people are still trying to understand the form, whatever form you've decided to bring along. But what I've found that really works well is, firstly, going through the form and explaining how it's used. Then also actually having someone do a roundup, maybe you, going through the actual roundup and showing what the 5% looks like and what the outcomes, which could be a presentation, is going to look like going forward. If you have enough time, you might be able to get someone else do one as well. But it always depends on the constitution as well as question marks about the seed process. That can take a small amount of time, but sometimes it takes a long chunk of your time that you've got together. And the last thing you want is your first meeting being 7 or 8 hours long. The last part, of course, you then do is go through general business, and you follow up things like, when are your meetings for the next 6 to 12 months? Is it first Tuesday, second Wednesday, whatever you come up with, you set the dates now. Your retreat going forward, any chapter information they need to know about. When's the next learning event? When's the chapter retreat? International winter, is there a university coming up? Do they understand what they can go to, what they should go to, what it all means? Because if you start to explain it now and they start getting all the emails about events that are coming up, they know what they should be going to and what they can go to and what the difference is between everything. Because the thing is, with a brand new member, when you're bombarded and not understanding what is a difference between a chapter event and a global event, it can make it all quite overwhelming. Obviously, then you end the meeting off with takeaways, as always. What are the major takeaways you got from this meeting, and a confirmation when the next meeting is, as well as answer any questions people may have. Now, the next meeting, of course, is where you start pushing forward with your constitution, but I'll get into that in the next video. But as always, if anyone has any questions, please leave them in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed already, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.